Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
Live from the Tony Wallow Studios, it's the Ken Stout Live Show, featuring the Zoom Homies, produced by LK Productions. Hello, everybody, and welcome into the May 6, 2023 edition of the Zoom Homies with Ken Stout Live, or Ken Stout Live with the Zoom Homies. I give you a choice. How about that? It is 9 o'clock straight up and down. I don't know how I managed to pull that off. I barely woke up from my nap to get in here and get this set up, and I just feel like I've forgotten something. Oh, yeah, maybe I should change my background from how I felt last night after fixing something for someone. So let me take care of that real quick. We have Greg Guy already in Zoom with us. Hello, Greg.
Hey, what's up?
Oh man, I'm beat. We ran to Champaign this morning at 176.3 miles from our garage to their parking spot right in front of the store. Coming back, it was only 132, I think, or 133, something like that.
Oh, I thought it was that mileage all both ways.
Well, if you go the same route, it technically would be the same mileage both ways, yes.
No, I mean 176 both ways.
Nope, we it should have been, but we've been meaning to get a couple things for our refrigerator. We like the state magnets, and we were missing a couple. So when we left this morning, pretty much right on time, not.
Nice.
Well, I mean, I knew it wasn't going to happen. We went out through the countryside, jumped over to I-70, took I-70 down to Highway number 1 in Illinois. Highway number 1 in Illinois up to Paris, and took Paris over Highway number 1 on 133, I think it was, going west. No, it couldn't have been that because that's an odd number. 130 maybe, going west over to 57 up to Champaign. 176.3 miles. That's seared in my brain forever. It was not a bad trip going over, and we were in no hurry at all getting over there this morning. We were in no hurry getting back either, to clarify, but we get to within a mile of our exit, and traffic is just dead stopped. And you start hearing sirens. Well, I glance up ahead and I see an ambulance. Oh, this is not good. And I hear more sirens, and I glance up ahead, and coming toward us in the southbound lane is a fire truck and a state police. They made a U-turn. They come up behind us. So that's one ambulance, one state police, and one fire truck. Well, here comes another fire truck. So I'm thinking, oh, holy moly, this is going to be a bad accident with, that so far all this firepower. Then a fourth fire truck come up. So we finally creep along, and we get to our exit. Well, everybody's getting to our exit because the two of the fire trucks were actually blocking the highway so nobody could go forward. Guess that tells you someone tried to go forward, which is ridiculous because what had happened was a little red car had gotten tangled with a big 18-wheel semi.
Ooh.
little red car didn't fare so well. Nobody, you could tell by the accident though, nobody was seriously injured. And then we were trying to figure out what had happened. I was a traffic investigator in the military, so I'm really running through my mind. Mrs. K goes, "What do you think happened?" I'm like, "Well, what little bit I saw, what I seen, I would say little red car was in the outside lane, came upon the exit, and decided, oh, I gotta get off this highway, sped up to get in front of said truck, and didn't make it because the car got hit in the rear quarter panel on the right hand side, spun it around, jackknifed the semi, and the car ended up off the road, damn near on the exit too. I was giving it credit for that. So there's skid marks everywhere and everything else, but you could tell based on what I saw, there was no major injuries or anything. So the more I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, that's probably because I'm like, okay, truck's going down the road, car's on the outside, sees its thing, goes to pull in front of it, gets clipped on the the back edge, spins it further around, truck jackknives, thinking, you could just tell that the truck probably made an evasive move to go to the left to avoid the car going to the right, and he jackknifed the truck. So, just man, horrible, horrible, horrible.
It's amazing how people think in a car you can outrun a truck and stop in a dime.
People don't think. I've come to the conclusion people just don't think. Rather than go, I mean, of course, hindsight is always best, but rather than go to the next exit, which is 500 yards away, get off on that and loop back, you're fine. They'd have been better off, seriously, pulling off on the shoulder and doing the dumbass backing up on the shoulder, which I've seen people do. But anyway, I'm going to go get caught up with chat, actually get started with chat. My nose itches. BH Ringer was first, 8:44, literally within seconds of me posting the show tonight. Tony Wallow was second, said good evening. John Alloy was third. Greg Dye was fourth by 1 minute. He said third place, not again. No, Greg, you were fourth.
Well, there was only 2 people when I started typing.
Well, I can't change what YouTube does. Greg Guy, or Tony, Greg asks how BH is doing. He says he's not doing too bad. Thanks for asking. He hopes that Greg is well. Tony says normal. Jim says the red car lost that argument. Yeah, that red car lost the argument, but it could have been a whole lot worse than what it was. If that truck, you could just tell the truck went to the left. If he hadn't done that, if he'd have kept going straight on, oh my gosh, that'd have been terrible. I mean, horribly, potentially terrible. Then we went to the Filipino store, and we are now 3/4 part owners of a Filipino store based on the money we spent today. But we shouldn't have to go back. Mrs. K is saying we don't have to go back until December. I will just about tell you we will be going back in July, if not sooner. However, this is where the 176.3 and 132 or 133, whatever it is, come into play. Oh, and by the way, it took nearly 3 hours to do the 176. We were home from their this parking spot in our garage in right at 2 hours. Literally 2 hours. Our time, Indiana time. We left their spot, their shop, store, whatever, at 12:22 p.m. Indiana time, because our car doesn't change the clock. We were in our garage at 2:23 p.m. and we made one little bitty stop between here and there, and we had to go about 4 miles out of our way because I didn't want to break the law and make an illegal lane turn. You know how they mark lanes off and it says stay in lane?
Yeah.
Well, I could have, there were several times I could have moved over and gotten off on the right exit, but I thought, nope, this is going to end. And sure enough, on the next exit, which is about 3 or 4 miles away, it ends back to regular lanes. I got off and it worked out. So when we go back, not in December, we're going to go that route. 2 hours over, 2 hours back. So that's great. Nice scenic drive. I saw 6 deer over in Illinois, just prancing through a field like they owned it. Nothing to do. Other than that, it was a very uneventful trip. We did go back out, and we did buy, as you saw,
Bunch of
flowers. Some of you saw flowers, and we bought
I did.
cantaloupe.
Yeah.
No, I don't have any idea what he was carrying, Tony. The truck was still partially, somewhat, for the most part, upright. It did not roll. It jackknifed, but it didn't roll. And the cab was at a slight tilt, but that's to be expected. Did not go golfing today. So that was my decision. When we got back the second time with the flowers and the cantaloupe, it was a little breezy, and I really want to play golf one day when it's not windy. Now, there's a slight chance, and I mean ever so paper-thin slight chance, I might get to play tomorrow, but I'm not going to push it. If she doesn't feel like going, we're not going to go. We'll see. Good trip all the way around. She slept the entire time going over there. Nothing new there. And she actually stayed awake the entire time coming back. I was pretty much amazed that she was able to do that. Then we got back from the flowers and cantaloupe trip, planted the flowers after tilling up the yard, and it still got a ton of rock in it. And then we went back out for a third time because us used Tony Wallow's gift card for Mrs. K's birthday, the DoorDash card. And we had Five Guys burgers and fries. I had a bacon cheeseburger. She had a little hamburger, an order of French fries, and a strawberry shake. Anybody want to take a wild guess on what that cost?
$24.99.
Oh, I wish.
$45.
We picked it up. We're cheap. We're frugal. I wasn't going to pay the $10 sales tax, which is a delivery charge, so we picked it up. No? William, any idea? Want to take a guess?
Around 45.
How much?
45.
A little high. Hello, Jeff.
Evening.
31 and change.
It was $27 and some change before the wonderful state tax of Indiana. It ended up being right at $32. So that was okay. This was the first, the last, and the only time we will have Five Guys burgers and fries.
That's
Tried
what I
them
had
once
for
when we
dinner.
were in South Carolina.
That's what I had for dinner.
Pretty good,
What is that?
but I thought they were overpriced.
What was that?
Why is my volume so low? Let me fix that.
Oh,
Noodle
Yeah,
cup.
they clearly, there we go. They clearly are overpriced. The hamburger was burnt. She had lettuce wrap rather than a bun. So all of the juices from the tomatoes and the mayonnaise and all that went everywhere. The French fries, they put too many French fries in it, and I'll tell you how greasy these fries were. It actually came through the bag to the point on the bottom of the bag, it put a hole in the bag. It was so saturated with,
Yeah.
and the fries weren't bad though. Of the whole meal, the fries were actually pretty good.
Well, do you remember a place called Capriotti's out here in Vegas?
Yep.
I had Capriotti's sub for lunch at the reunion I went to today. Now, it wasn't some of their regular ones, but it was good.
Yeah. Speaking of today, I was trying to listen to Doug's program, and I don't know if it was because of where we were at or what, but I got about 1.5 to 2 minutes of the first attempt, and then I just gave up on it until we got to a better area, and I got to listen to pretty much most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, missed it completely.
DoorDash, Wintermute says, how is it DoorDash if you pick it up? Just the account, I guess. I don't know. That's a good question.
He saved the money that DoorDash would charge him.
Right.
You know?
Well, so I wanted to tempt it because it says these places have 0 delivery fee. Okay. And Five Guys Burgers was, we went through the whole list and she said the same thing I did. We never had it. Let's give it a shot. So we did, but we knew we were going back out. So we just wanted to pick it up. I think on the next order of the remaining $18 we will have it delivered just to see. I said, well, we can only buy one thing. And she said, well, why is that? I said, because if this $10 tax is true, that leaves us with $8 to spend. So we'll see. If it was DoorDash Premium for free delivery, I don't know. Doug started a new stream about a minute and a half after. Okay, I figured he might have done that.
Yeah,
I
he
seen
had
his
somebody
where
else
someone
around.
said he was having issues.
Yeah.
So I did get a comment on. Let me see if I can figure out how to do this before I say that. Bear with me one moment. So anyway, that was my Saturday. Mrs. K is still asleep, believe it or not. When we got back, I said, let's watch a movie, and then I'll do my stream, and then we'll watch the other movie after the hour, and then I'll go back and rejoin Zoom. And she was like, why don't we take a nap? I'm like, okay. Not going to argue that.
Hello, kid.
Hello, Alex. Again.
Good evening.
Yes, I was just listening. I take it you did not like Five Guys.
You are correct. I'm going to be nice. I did not like Five Guys burgers.
But when
and
I
fries.
tried them, Five Guys was moderately acceptable, but very overpriced. At the location I tried them in South Carolina.
I will defend. I've never had them, but I will defend them based on the videos I've seen and what I've heard. The grease is supposed to be coming through the bag like that. You're supposed to be able to see the grease on the.
That must be a millennial trend or something because
Must be
us
an
old people,
Arkansas
we don't
thing.
like that at all. Okay, now I think I can do this. I'm going to share my screen to Zoom. And, oops, I got to share sound. Hold on. And then I'm going to change the source over in. Before I do that, though, I want to turn off.
Can I ask a question before we change the subject here?
Sure.
Does Bobby Warren work for DoorDash?
I don't know. He says if DoorDash was premium.
It's like he's making advertising comments.
Exactly. All right. Now everybody hopefully is seeing. Yes. So last night, Wintermute and William Dawson and myself played around with Hey Jen. We'll talk about that in a moment. But we created this right here.
Yeah, I saw it.
So here we go.
I rarely watch YouTube, but when I do, it's always Doug Betts, followed by Ken Stout Live.
Just messing around, something to do, something we were basically learning it. And when I say we, I mean, they were basically learning so they could walk me through how to do what needed to be done. So here's the good and the bad of this. If you do not have 1,000 subscribers, you cannot do a trailer on your video. You can, however, do what we did, and it goes somewhere. I can't even remember where it goes, but you can have it to where when it's on your channel, it can be played on your channel. Well, that's not going to help me out. The other bad thing that in my very humble opinion, is you only get 2 minutes a month of free video. 2 minutes is not a lot. Pardon?
With Hey Jen?
With Hey Jen, yes.
Is that a YouTube creation?
Oh, no. It's heygen.com, I believe.
Okay. So you get 2 minutes. So this is to entice you to use the paid version, I presume.
Exactly. That's
They
exactly.
want me to use the paid version. They gotta spice it up a little bit.
Well, the essential, which is their lowest, is 24 a month, and it's billed yearly. And their professional version is 180 a month, billed yearly. So
Mm.
I guess they want to tell you they're giving you a slight deal on that. Now, here's the
Okay.
difference in it. The free version is, according to the website, 1 minute of free credit / month. We assumed, the three of us, that means you get 1 minute video credits for the entire month. Well, when we actually did it, you get 2 minutes. The $24 a month, you get 10-minute video credits a month. That's not that impressive to me.
What?
For-
So if you pay $24 a month, you still only get 10 minutes worth of video?
Correct. Let me see if I can do this again. I've done it once. Can
All
I
right.
do it again, ladies and gentlemen? Place your bets. That's
Drum
double
roll.
TS now. He's probably still doing his Fortnite stuff, so I can get away with that. And I'm not yet fully awake. All right, so now,
Woo!
go
You
back.
know, it's bad when they say, when the enterprise version is let's talk.
Okay, so then right here, 0, you get 1 minute video creds. And to me, this means it's a month. And we pretty much agreed it was.
Yeah.
For 24, you get 10-minute video credits, and that's got to be again per month. And then for the 180 a month, you get 90 minutes. Okay, now 90 minutes should be back over here, in my very humbled opinion. But 100 plus human avatars, the same. No gain there. 40 languages, no gain there. 300 voices, no gain there. 300 plus templates, no gain there. I'm not seeing much gain till we get down to auto captions. Then in the other two, they're available. Unlimited hosting. Don't know what that is, but that's different as well. No watermark. So there's a watermark. I didn't see a watermark. I'll have to go check that out. Priority video processing. Well, that's good to know. A branding kit and an API. So the reason I'm bringing this up is I wonder if Doug has the essential, because I think by now he's clearly gone over 2 minutes for the month, hasn't he? I mean, if I can figure out how to do 7-minute videos, and I'm not going to take the time to do the math, that's how many I could do.
Now, what's the price if you pay by the month?
So switching it over to monthly, $30 a month,
So
and 2
he
1/4.
could have bought 1 month just to play with.
Just to play with it, yeah. And it's a possibility. I might still end up doing that. It was fun messing with it. We changed the background a couple times. We actually changed the voice several times, and William will tell you I was dying laughing a couple times because of the small little changes we made and how it affected it. It was just there was a route that could be taken with that I'm not going to go over on the live stream. We might discuss it in the after stream Zoom, but yeah, it was kind
Now,
of
I
funny.
gather the minutes are only for what you actually broadcast. If you want to take an hour to create a 1-minute video, that's okay.
Correct, as long as it's right. I would say yes, you are correct, because this is the length that it's going to run. Now, the one that I did is 7 seconds, and when we process it, it actually said, if I remember correctly, something to the effect of you are using X amount of seconds of your 2 minutes. And it didn't,
Okay.
I didn't even pay attention. It ended up being 7 seconds. Bobby says he's thinking about getting Hage in. Well, good luck. Getting it, using it, and actually putting it to use in the field are 4 different things. And if you're questioning my math, Robert Michael from Tennessee taught me how to add good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, one of the two. Now I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Hopefully that goes back to where it's supposed to be, and it does. So cool. Yeah, it's I'm going to continue looking into it. Let me bring Zoom back over here. That's so uncomfortable. Chris Garrett joins us. Hello, Chris.
Hey,
Did not hear you come in because
I
I
was
don't
about to
think.
say, since you didn't say hey to me, I guess I'll say hey to you.
No, I don't have the bell enabled. Let me enable the bell. So there we go.
You think that would be stagnant once you said it?
There probably is a way to go online on the account and set it. I've just been lazy and haven't done anything. Um, Chris says he cannot get DoorDash delivered where he lives. You can raise the minutes on essential and the price. Okay.
I can meet them up the road, but what's the point of that? If I got to get in my vehicle, I might as well just go on down.
You have a long driveway, Chris?
No, I meant like up the road, probably at the interstate, probably about 4 or 5 miles, but I might as well go on to town if I'm going to do that.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, and the thing about DoorDash, even if you're picking it up, you have to give them an address. If it's not your house address, it's got to be an address around where you're at.
Yeah.
That's.
I was
so
okay
that-
with that. I
So
called
that it
Alex.
kinda,
Now, what's the normal add-on for DoorDash, a delivery thing?
I'll let you know the next time we use it, which will probably be tomorrow. I don't know. I'm hearing rumors it's $10, and they classify it as a tax. I've heard that from more than one person actually.
Okay.
I called Alex. I wasn't panicking. I was pretty upset, and I didn't like what I ended up having to do. So I called Alex and I was like, "We have a credit through Tony Wallow for Mrs. K's birthday present," which once again, thank you, Tony. And they wanted a credit card in order for me to use the credit on the account. That's just ludicrous to me. It's wrong, by the way, in my opinion. So I thought, well, I'll just use my PayPal account. I link it to my PayPal account. I go to checkout, and in big, bold, red letters, it says, PayPal cannot be used to pay for this order.
it must have been the particular location would not have accepted PayPal because
I don't know.
Have you?
I really don't know. Well, we'll talk about that in a moment. So I canceled that, and I am going to go in and cancel my debit card as well. I'll just, if I have to do it again, I'll have to do it again. It's just me and the way that I think about things and feel about certain things. So I put in my debit card to my bank, and it worked just fine. And it did actually remove it from the DoorDash account. But it's stupid that you have an account with DoorDash with a dollar amount on there, but you have to give them your banking information or credit card information. That's just dumb.
Yeah, my mom said the same thing the first time I ordered it. It's like I go in there to say something to her, and it's like I have to explain to her. I have this credit on there, but they're asking for a card. So can you believe me? And she's like, well, it ain't gonna charge me. And I'm like, no, it ain't gonna charge you. I just need it on there because they need it on there to, I guess, cover their butts.
Right. I agree with you. I think it's just in case you don't have enough on the account or whatever, it's going to reflect and say, oh, you got, we'll pull it out of there. And you don't want to get me started on how I feel about that.
I notice a few places use a credit card for verification too.
I've seen things where it says, we want your credit card. We're not going to charge it, but we need it to prove who you are. Well, I don't need your service that bad.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the PayPal too. There's certain services, like if you link your PayPal account to your Google account for buy like apps and stuff to the Google Play Store or movies or whatever, you have to put in they require you to put in a card and like a debit card or link it to your bank account for your PayPal before you can.
Yeah.
I even remember when I first signed up for PayPal, I was using a credit union at that point in time, and I gave them the credit union account, just like a bank account or whatever, and they actually deposited 10 cents or something in my credit union account to verify that it worked.
Right.
They paid me 10 cents.
That's it. They pull $1 out. As soon as they verify the account, they put it back. That's what they're doing.
Oh, okay.
But I guess in the old days, before they got to where they could do that, they would actually deposit a little bit in your account just to get started. And probably write that off as an expense on their taxes. Or
Yeah,
something.
Wintermute saying I could set the trailer to unlisted and it won't show it in the videos, but then I could play it for everyone on your homepage. Yeah, I was thinking about that whole thing a lot last night and today. And I think I've come up with a way to create something. It's going to take me a day or two to piece it all together in order for it to work to do what I want it to do. That's just another reason to get to 1,000 subscribers. Actually, that's the only reason for me to get to 1,000 subscribers. It'd be cool to add the trailers. I like Doug's trailers. And that brings us back full circle. I got a comment tonight from Doug on YouTube. And the comment reads, I think I've been a little bit more prepared than this. Comments. No, I got to do it a different way. I forgot that I had.
What did he
changed.
say? Quit stealing my Jennifer?
No. I think you'll like this. Where did? Oh, it went completely away. Oh, come on, seriously. Oh no, here it is. This showed up in my suggested feed. I love it. So the little 7-second blurb that we did last night showed up as a suggested watch for Doug in his feed, and he likes it. So that's cool. That makes it all
You're
worth
talking
it.
about your trailer, right?
What essentially could be the trailer, yes.
Well, it's listed as a trailer on your homepage to me.
Because I named it trailer.
Ah,
That's
okay.
why it's listed as a trailer.
Okay.
So when the next one says Jeff Ryman is old, pay no attention to that. I did not have anything to do with that. So how was your get together this afternoon?
Very good, actually. We went from about 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock. There were about 60 people there.
Nice.
There were a lot more worked on it than that, but that's
sure.
how many were still in the area who took the time to come. And I had one guy walk up to me that I had worked with later in the project, and I didn't remember him for a minute or two. And actually, I'd worked with him quite a bit towards the end.
Now, you couldn't remember him because when you worked with him, he was a she, or now she's a he, or something like that?
No,
Or
just
okay.
no, just well, we both had added a few whiskers since then, and but most of the folks there were old and retired, but there were 2 or 3 younger guys I remember are still working. So anyway, had a good time, and like I said, we had capriotti sandwiches, and they were very good.
Yeah, I just looked at DoorDash, and there's no more free delivery available. I'm going to pay for it the next time we use it, unless of course we
Oh,
pick
really? Every time I've used it, there's been free delivery. Whether I've used it at my grandma's or at my house, just about every time I've used it. But I've only used it a handful of times. I think maybe half a dozen times.
Could that depend on the merchant? Maybe the merchant is absorbing the cost in their price sometimes.
Possibly.
Yes, it depends because sometimes I look through there in some restaurants it says $0, and sometimes it's like $2 or $3 for.
So this never works out the way I want it to, but I've got my avatar on. I'm going to go grab some more water. I'm out. Please, somebody, keep the conversation going. Even if it's Alex Cheek, keep the conversation going.
Alex, as possible, is written right into the cost of food.
You're gonna get burned if you keep sitting in front of that fire, Alex.
Well, since I take full responsibility for this, since the guy called me on the phone. I could have asked him to put some in the bag, but since the last time I ordered DoorDash, they didn't give me any sauce at all, but they wrote it on the receipt. I probably won't be ordering DoorDash for a little while.
Run that past again now.
I
You ordered
asked them.
something without salt.
No, I ordered Taco Bell or Taco Hell,
Yep.
and I asked for like 6 packets of hot sauce, 6 packets of Diablo, and 6 packets of fire sauce. It was written on the receipt.
Oh, okay, sauce.
Oh.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But when I went to look in the bag, there was no sauce in the bag at all. Now I wanted a mango freeze or whatever they called it, but they didn't have mango, but it was still listed on the DoorDash website. And so the guy called me to say, is blue raspberry okay? And I said, wait, yeah, but I should have asked him to give me some sauce or whatever, because once I seen that there was no sauce in the bag, I was a little frustrated. But they don't charge for the sauce. So
I
at least
don't know. Some of the DoorDash people I've seen at other various restaurants, I don't see them taking the time to go, oh yeah, this guy wants sauce. I'll get him some sauce, all right. I don't see them doing that.
The thing is, I went into that particular Taco Bell before. It's just down the road, like a block down the road. Literally, I've driven the chair to it before down the road.
Yeah, William brought something up as I was leaving about pricing. I'm actually going to do an experiment, go on DoorDash, make an order, and price it out. And then I'm going to go to the same, I'll just pick on McDonald's. Then I'm going to go to McDonald's and do the same order and see if there's actually a price difference. Because one of the things Mrs. K and I talked about today was it's $1.29 for a cup of coffee now. On DoorDash, it's $1.59. Of course, realizing I'm talking to my wife, she went, "Really?" I said, "I have no idea. I'm just trying to make a point here." So I had a Lorna-ism to tell you tonight. Let me remember it.
So you go to the DoorDash website to order from these places?
Yes.
Oh, so you don't order and then say, I want DoorDash to deliver this.
No, you have to go to the website, the DoorDash website on the computer.
All right. I've never done any of these delivery services, and being as cheap as I am, I probably never will. But that's
I had a Lorna-ism, and I can't remember it. Hopefully, it will come to me because it just cracked me up.
The only time I had DoorDash, they accidentally delivered to the front door and didn't want it back.
And wrong address?
Yeah. I called DoorDash and they said keep it. It was a stir-fry type dinner, so we had dinner that night.
Yeah, well, I can understand that. They just don't want to take the risk that somebody contaminates the food or whatever.
On multiple occasions, my mom will get mail. The post office will deliver mail here for the school across the street. Problem is, our address is 501. The school's address is 510. So they don't read the address and they deliver to the wrong.
I've gotten stuff for the wrong street delivered.
Yeah.
Not the post office generally, but one of the other FedEx or UPS or whoever.
So I can see the machines going through and it, so fast. I can see it saying 501, 510. I can see that Church Street, but your driver or your person that delivers it, I can't see them going, "Oh, look here, it says Bill Smith, 501 West Church. But doesn't Bill work for this?" I can't see that.
My mom's called the school before and said, I got some mail here for y'all. What do you want me to do with it?
I could see your mom ransoming the mail. Funny. Oh, I got to think of this Lorna-ism. Gosh, because I told her, I said, I am telling the guys tonight, and they will think it's funny because this is clearly Lorna's thinking and Lorna's speak.
But I
I
can't even
remember.
remember a time where they did it the other way. I can't even remember a time when they delivered our mail to
Oh,
school.
yeah, we get so much mail for people that don't live here and have probably never lived here. And
Yeah,
be right back.
I'm the second owner of this property. And I occasionally still have gotten mail for the people we bought the house from. And I understand that. But there's another fella whose name escapes me at the moment because it doesn't show up very often, but about once every 6 months or year, we get mail for this other fella at this address, and this guy has never lived here.
Is it a Maynard check?
No, the last time it was a recall notice for a car. At least that's what the outside of the envelope said.
That does you no good.
No, so I just write wrong address on the front and stick it back in the outgoing mail slot at the mailbox.
Now, this sticks out in my mind when Ken had sent me that, when Ken ordered me that Stream Deck that I got sitting right here next to me. When I guess it was Amazon, when the Amazon delivery driver came to deliver it, next door neighbor had a package too at the same time. So I got next door neighbor's package and she got my package.
Lucky you're friends with your neighbors.
How close are the last names between you and your neighbor?
Like as far away as you can get.
So you're Cheek and they're Zoolander or something like that?
Something else.
Yeah,
There's no way to.
Don't say it. Don't say there's no way because it's already happened.
It was just one of them things.
I said don't say it. One of these days. One of these days. Mrs. K is trying to remember because she too can't remember what she said, but it was so, we laughed about it for a while, actually. It was really funny. He's going to come back in because he knows the waiting room's not enabled. Rick Lake says he'll see us tomorrow. Someone's dyslexic. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, lazy, dyslexic.
Just don't give a damn.
You know, all this talk about DoorDash.
Making you
best-
hungry?
The best kind of food is when we have is free food, especially when we have especially when we have potluck at church, because everybody or most of them make stuff homemade and like cakes and pies and all kind of stuff.
Alex, how's the world been treating you?
Tony Wallace says, senior moment. This is true. So what she remembered was we were coming back from Walmart today, and the route we took, we drove by an immediate care facility. And I said, this is going to sound terrible, but this is what comes to mind. I went to immediate care on Wednesday. They finally got around to seeing me on Saturday. And it didn't take her but about 3 seconds to get that. She actually understood the joke I was making. But that's not the Lorna-ism. We were on the highway in Illinois, and we were comparing something, and she compared, the way she compared it was just funny. Just odd. It'll come to us. Brian Lightfoot joins us over in chat. Says he's still above ground. That's good. Wasn't too sure with the meds I took. I hope he gets to feeling better. I'm still fighting whatever this is. It'll go away one of these days. I don't know. So, did you hear William's question, Alex?
Yes. It's
Okay.
it's fine. It's fine, William. I'm still waiting to hear from the school. It won't be 2 weeks until this coming Thursday, but I don't have high hopes. I've gotten to about where I just about don't have high hopes for any job I apply for. I pretty much just apply for it and try to forget about it. And
This
then
one, what kind of a position was it?
just normal IT technician. They're just needing someone else to work for the,
Realized tech support?
yes.
Was that the local school system?
It's not here, but it's only about 30 minutes away. It's closer than
Okay.
Little Rock. So,
All right.
but
No chance you can do it remotely?
no,
That's too bad.
but out of all the jobs I've applied for, working for any school district or college is one of the ones on the very top of my list. The college is it's one of the ones on the very top of my list. The college is it's one of the ones on the very top of my list.
I don't think you can hear the echo.
It's one of the ones on the very top of my list.
Brian, you need to mute your YouTube stream. You're having echo.
What?
Yes, you should have been around last night for the Zoom session when I was connected to Joshy's aunt's computer and his computer with the echo that you guys couldn't hear. I actually recorded that. So this is how I felt last night when I finally left.
Got up and walked out.
It's changed. It's changed. We changed it on his one account, changed it on his other account, verified it on both of those. Now here's the
So
kicker.
you got him fixed up finally?
Yeah, here's the odd thing. We did not change it on his phone, but I sent him an email and he said he could access that email on his phone. Figure that out.
Maybe
I knew we were all in trouble when you brought up his list of passwords on the browser.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I
He's got
actually
about-
have
15 passwords.
I mean, how many email accounts does he have?
2 that I know of.
Oh gosh, no. You don't know the other 17.
On that list, it looked like there was a bunch of them. The writing was a little small for my old eyes and my monitor here, but gee,
Yeah, I am going to
I
share
suspect
something.
what happens, something goes wrong and he can't get into one, so he just made another one. Then that goes
And-
wrong and he just made another one.
And then
I
Ken's
will.
trying to type the password in twice by longhand instead of copying and paste.
Hey, let's go easy on your host.
And how many times did you try that in Wintermute?
I don't know. Just one or two.
No, but I've been on sites like that, Brian, where it would not let you copy and paste.
Right.
Thank you.
I know some don't. It was worth a try.
Yeah, no, it actually would, as we found out, but I just didn't cross my mind. All right, so why am I sharing my screen that has all of my icons on the same monitor again?
They're on the other side of the screen this time.
I noticed that too. Thank you. Now, there is one that is not there because I already moved it. And that's for the clocks because I wanted it pulled aside so I knew it would be the right one.
Now, I'm kind of slow on these things, so if you have multiple monitors, you can put icons on different screens.
Sure. I can grab, let's just
Now,
say
I don't
this.
know how that normally works, but if I have some stuff on one monitor and some other stuff on another one. I'm not talking icons, but I got a program open. And the thing times out and goes into, I don't know what mode you call it. It's not sleep, but the screen just shuts off.
Right.
And then I have to come back and log in again a few minutes later. Everything is back on one screen. It never returns to the other screen.
So to answer your question, I'm going to take the Roadrunner and the Roadrunner and the Roadrunner and again the Roadrunner, and I'm going to group them over here. I'm going to grab them and I'm going to put them on my main monitor, and they're now over on my main monitor. They're no longer over here. And then by the same token, I can bring them back over here. Like you can put them whatever monitor you want, but I want them over here. What I find odd is I have gone through probably 6 or 7 episodes of my computer going to sleep and coming back on, and until today, it's worked just fine. Today, I wake up to this. So what I think I'll do is I'll shoot Doug a picture with an email and see what his thoughts are on it.
Ken, I think I have a pretty good idea as to why Josh's email is stay logged in on his phone.
Okay.
Even after you change the password.
Okay.
And this is just throwing this out there. Several times I've told y'all that I can no longer. My school uses Gmail, or they used to. Well, I can no longer, if I try to go to Gmail and log in to my school email through Gmail, I no longer can do it when I log in. Even if I have the correct email and password in there, it comes up and it'll say invalid email or invalid account something after supposedly logging me in. Well, I can't see the email or do anything with the Gmail portion at all under that account. Well, my phone, I've always been logged in to my college email on my phone, and I can still access that account on my phone. And if I send something to myself or send something from my normal Gmail to that account or any other, it'll function normally. I think what has happened here is the school has taken my account off their list, made my account inactive, but for some reason my account on my phone still works. But it doesn't work on the computer. And that's because they changed up. That's because they changed up their sign-in methods or whatever. They started using Microsoft as the authentication service for their stuff, even though they use Gmail, Google for their email for the students. They use Microsoft so if you try to go to Google and put in your email and school email and password, it'll redirect you to Microsoft because that's what they use, because they started doing like single sign-on.
When's the last time you were enrolled in a class at that college?
1936.
May of 2021.
What makes you think you're entitled to a email account in perpetuity?
I'm not, but this is where I never thought I was, because I know I'm not. But
that depends on the university. Some people give alumni accounts for years and years.
But this is the strange part. The email portion, the Google portion of my account no longer works. But what I can do is that account was and still is tied to a Microsoft account, which allows me to download the education version or whatever you call it, a Microsoft Office, for free. I can still go to office.com. I can still go to office.com and log in with my school email and password, and it'll still allow me to sign in, access my OneDrive, access my documents, download and install Microsoft Office for free. I just cannot log into the actual email portion, the actual Google portion of.
I tried that with my old EDU account, and for some reason I couldn't do it anymore. I don't understand. After 20
So they
years,
somehow
20 years, what's the deal?
So they somehow disabled, the school somehow disabled, they did something where they disabled the Gmail portion of that email account, but I can still log into office.com and download Microsoft Office.
Ken, I want to go back a topic. When
Okay.
I saw you group icons and move them over, how are you doing that? I just tried to play with that on my screen here, and I can't even group them, let alone move them.
Right, was it right? Left click, drag,
I
left
mean,
click.
I'm putting the box around some of them and it doesn't do anything.
Right, I go just outside of the one I want to start with, hold the left button down, drag to the right, creates a square, drag it down, highlights the icons, and then I can move them.
Okay, but I mean,
Let me see if I can demonstrate
Okay.
that one.
all right, that worked with one.
Roy's asking, do you have your icons locked?
No, okay, I see. I don't know why. Maybe I just wasn't putting the box around them right. I thought maybe it was because I'm not working in an administrative account. But no, I can move some of them now.
Okay. So
I
Jaden,
think I
I'm
was
gonna
putting the
regret.
box
I got
too
two
close.
things real quick. We got about 4 minutes. Jaden Snow says, "How do you clear memory? My RAM is running slow." I just said reboot the system. That's question number one. Ponder that while I follow up with question number two. Alex, did you get an email from your brother in Pennsylvania saying something to the effect of Windows 10 is now going into retirement?
Yeah, I think I seen it on the subject line or whatever, but I didn't click on it.
Well, I didn't either. That's why I was asking if you did. Boy, I don't want to get divorced.
Say, I was just trying that on some icons here, Ken,
Yeah,
and I've got a number of icons in a row of some related things.
right.
Some of them were installed as administrator, and some of them were installed. I just created the icons in my own user account,
Right.
and not all of them will move.
Really? Now that's way above my head, but that's
Well,
interesting.
but you just have one account on your computer, though, right?
Correct. I do.
I have multiple accounts. I have an administrator account, and then I have my quote regular user account.
I only have the
I'll have to
one.
play with this and see if I can figure it out.
Okay, now that's got me thinking. I think the Lorna-ism was about something we were talking about that I will discuss after the stream, and you'll understand why.
All right.
Now that you said that, that's jogging some gray cells. Oh, there goes another one. That one hurt.
No, well, you can't. Don't think too hard. We can't afford to lose too many.
John Aloy Sr. says good night. Good evening, everyone. See you next Friday. Good night, John. Enjoy your week. It's probably going to be wet. I know ours is. No holidays this week, so the macro will kick in about 2.5 minutes, I do believe.
Ken, I think I know what happened with the iPhones. I wonder if Apple auto syncs the account across the devices.
I mentioned that earlier to Alex, but I don't know. No, it doesn't. No, yeah, maybe, possibly. It might, because I get that option. I don't auto sync anything. And when I put my Gmail on my phone, this is what, and Alex and I talked about this as well. I got a little confused because I used the Gmail from the Apple phone, and it asked me which Gmail service do you want to use, and I said Google or Gmail, and it automatically put a Gmail icon on my phone. Alex or Joshy doesn't have that, from what I understand. So here in a few minutes, I'm going to just delete it off the phone and see if I can get my phone to replicate or do what his phone does, so I can have a better understanding of what's going on. And there are the credits right on time at about 2 minutes. I want to give a shout out to BH Ringer was first. It was good to see BH again. Tony Wallow was second. Only I could hit the control key with my knee on my desktop. That's talent. Great Guy was fourth. Jim was with us. Bobby was with us. No Long Dog tonight. No Josh Kinder tonight. Roy was with us, and I still can't say his last name. So, Roy, if you want to change your name to Roy, I'll be cool with that. I can say that.
I was last.
What is it?
I was
Care.
last. Oh,
Jer?
Roy
Hair?
Care, just like CARE. That's what he said on Doug's channel.
right.
Oh, so why is it spelled KJ?
It's
So look,
Norwegian.
the date and time are right on tomorrow's stream. It said Sunday, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock in the middle, and 6 o'clock on the West Coast.
That
I
AM
actually
or PM?
fixed it.
Is that AM or PM?
Oh, doggone it. Now I got to go redo it again. Oh,
What about calling Roy Rogers?
Chris is
You
back.
know,
No, I set the
probably-
doggone bell to go off and didn't hear the bell. What is going on with Zoom? And don't
We
somebody
probably
say
couldn't-
it's my system.
We probably couldn't pay Ken $1 million to do it at 6 o'clock in the morning. Or
So I'm guessing Jaden's saying he's using CPU Zoo to determine he has no memory or something. I don't know. I would just restart the system, see what's available, and then as he fires things up, see what's using his memory. But that's me. Military time. Sure, I'll put the next one in military time, and then nobody will know what's going on except for about 4 people. Good night,
I know.
everybody. See you tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. My time, 2100 hours for those that are inquiring about the military time. I think that's correct anyway. I got to go find OBS. I got so many things open. I'm so playing Doug Betts tonight. It's not funny.
Interesting. The clock in my truck has an option to put it on 24-hour time.
Right.
And I did that at the request of my grandson, strangely enough.
Wow.
He was 10 years old, and he
And-
caught on immediately.
Roy is saying yup. I don't know if he's saying yup to it's Roy Care or military time or what. We will discuss that tomorrow night as I found OBS and I'm pushing the
Well, I hope I
button.
got it
Oh,
right. That's
and
what
I want to make sure I mention Greg's name because apparently last night or the night before, or possibly even the night before, I failed to mention Greg Guy's name. And we all know when I don't mention Greg Guy's name, he's out of whack. He sleeps 27 hours a day and he doesn't know what to do. So, Greg, thank you for almost being third tonight.